introduction.
Okay,
So I'll get started. So good afternoon, everyone. So thank you for joining in on this session today. So today we are doing a session on generative AI enterprise use. So basically, this session from prompt to production is designed to help you move beyond the hype and see how generative AI can become a practical coworker, integrating into your workflows for real business impact. We will explore real world use cases, see AI tools in action, and discuss how organizations can adopt AI in a structured and measurable way. We are delighted to have Mr. Pawan as today's speaker. Pawan brings over 13 years of experience in data science, data analytics, and generative AI. He has delivered 24 plus analytic projects globally, working across countries like US, Australia, and India. So his expertise spans tools like ChatGPT, GPT-4, Bard, Adobe Analytics, and advanced AI ML solutions. So Pawan has been instrumental in driving digital transformation, AI adoption, and building scalable data products for clients in BFSI, e-commerce, and retail. So his blend of technical expertise and practical project leadership makes him the perfect guide for today's session. So thank you, Pawan, for um, giving us time today, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of takeaways for the today's session for all the participants. So over to you.
sure. Thanks for your intro. And let me analyze. I'm the right now head of the MCOE, that is Marketing Center of Excellence of the AI and Adapt Division of Apple. So, within my expertise, I will be developing the GenAI and ML ops as a service to my clients globally. So within that, yeah. So coming part to of today's agenda. Okay, so I will be delivering in the mode of the training will be 99% is practical and there will be 1% of theory. So today I will be driving out the insights how we can able to utilize the GenAI or any other monetization tool. So from prop to production, so I will be delivering one or two use cases within that how we can able to deliver, and then so what is the historical and then what is the impact that we can able to see, and within my expertise, so I had dealt with, so how we can able to utilize that, and a proper case study how I have dwelt with that use case. So let me share my screen. Yeah, any questions before we start off or something likewise? So any expectations from you? And before we start off, I'll give you a minute for everyone. Yes. Okay. I'll take it as a no then. Okay. Let me open my PowerPoint. One second. It's in my drive. Give me 1 minute.
So meanwhile, Mr. Pawan shares his screen. So I encourage all of you to use the chat to ask all your questions and interact during the session. So please use the chat extensively wherever you might have any questions. So we'll pick it up at logical intervals, and we'll try to answer most of them.
Sure. I'm opening my website. Sorry. I'm opening my email. It's in my email. Sorry. I didn't export it to my computer. Just give me 1 minute. It's downloading. Just give me 1 minute.
So, Pawan, since you asked the expectation from the participants, there was a clear
Mm,
communication which was shared to all the participants.
yes.
It was an overwhelming response to participate in this event. So, we had included what are the topics getting covered and what is that they could expect. So, I guess the team today who's come this afternoon to get this session are aware of what the key takeaways could be. They're looking mainly you to run us through from a practical aspect to understand how it can help them as they step out from this session.
Sure. No problem. Okay. So think the presentation is ready, downloaded. Yes. So as the expectation is very clearly set, okay, so before the session itself, so yes, I where is this share button? Why share button is not working?
Right at the bottom, you could see there is an icon share next to the raise hand. Yeah,
Yeah. Can you able to see my screen?
it's coming up. Yeah, we can see. Over to you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so today's agenda is around from prompt to production, so leveraging GenAI for the business impact. So how the utilization of the GenAI will impact in that, and then so here I will be explaining you one or two use cases. So for today's agenda, and then how it can able to drive out in terms of that, and so it is a practical webinar, and my target audience is executed as considered as a C-level executives and senior leaders industries implementing the Gen AI across the industrial vertical. So I'll keep it very simple. Okay, so the key takeaways of this whole webinar is I will be giving you the practical exposure. That is 99% of this is a practical and 1% is theory. Yeah. Yeah. So who is me? Okay, and why I am? So I have 15 years of experience. I am the head of the Adobe Consulting IOA, that is international operation and analytics. Okay, so and so I myself has inducted into the CDP, that is customer data platform, and then leveraging the Gen AI into the business by using the prompt to production, so all the use cases. So and how I have devised, I previously as an architect, I have worked as an architect also for some of the companies, and right now so I am the head of the Gen AI and then the cloud transformation strategist, so and the customer data platform specialist. So this is my core expertise in terms of that, so including Apple, Walmart and PepsiCo. So I have worked with various divisions, so this is what my expertise is. Yeah. So now coming into the today's agenda. So first I will be digging down 5 minutes over the GenAI landscape and how it will be, and how we can able to use it effectively. So I will not bore you guys that is present on Google. What is GenAI and then the definition of GenAI. So I will be really coming into the concept. So from the traditional AI to the best practices, so how it will be implemented. Yeah. So and how we can able to do the enterprise integration, and what are the practical application that we will be doing that, and then what is the implementation strategy, so how you can able to do it, and then so providing the interactive QA. So this topic will be ended up. Yeah. So behind the app, okay, in terms of the business concept, okay, so as per the previous data, okay, so this is the data that I have taken from the augmented intelligence. Okay, there is a Gen AI, so that is releasing every year. So on the experimental AI playbook. Okay, so this data is taken from that. So it is like, so Gen AI represents a fundamental step, okay, on the business problem that the business is considering. So business and then the evaluation is considering right now. So it is around 72% of the enterprises are already implementing the Gen AI solutions, and it is the time to revoke Gen AI and then the importance of the AI in the industry. So this is not just an hype, it is the needed aspect for the enterprise and then the AI automation in order to do that. So if you are sitting at a path, or else if you want to include that into your real world use case and then implement a kind of a strategical. So this webinar is very perfect for them. So who wants to look for the career, or they want to implement the GenAI, and then they can able to do the independent contribution on the GenAI solutions, and then how you can able to do that, and then so how the C-level executive can able to benefit it. So it is not just an hype, so I will be delivering it in a practical exposure, so by showing you one. Okay. So here is the fundamentals, like what are the foundation models that I will be using. So like GPT-4, Claude, and PALM. So like I will be using the large LLMs, large languages model. So I will not bore you guys over here. So these are the models that you can able to utilize by means of any kind of an system or the intervention. So as the generative AI will deal with the large language models, which acts as an automation in that, right? And so mainly on the content creation, so GenAI will be used for the content creation, and then if you want the applications to be that, so in my webinar, I will be only focusing on the content creation and then the data analysis. Okay, the rest of the things, so it will be taken up in the next sessions or something likewise. So once we are hyped up. So as per the time limitation, so I will be implementing one of the solution, and then so you can able to take it forward. Okay, with the enterprise AI architecture, basically I will be also providing you an architecture in that, right? So in my implementation experience, so I have dealt with 500, and then we found that starting with focused use cases. So this is the main funda. Okay, whatever the implementation is, so you should have the focused use cases in order to achieve the outcome bias results, and then the efficiency of the algorithm, or efficiency of the algorithm, LLM will be depending upon, so with the focus. So whatever the use case that you have, so you have a focus in your mind, and then divide and conquer rule. So basically if you got an use case, so the approach is, when you got a use case, okay, divide it into sub problems, and then conquer the solution with an ideation and an approach. So this is the implementation logic. So when I dealt with the previous architectures or something like this, when I am in the low level job, so my seniors used to say, so when you got a problem or the use case, okay, always divide and conquer matters. So this is the strategy that I have been playing, and then I am quite successful in my career. So divide and conquer. So divide the use case into a number of the sub pieces, and then cluster the pieces, and within that cluster, so have an identical approach and then integrate it together, so that so the problem that you are following have an focused attribution. So when it comes to that, so this is the strategy or a tip or the takeaway that I am giving you, so how to deal with the problems. Okay, so that is what. So now coming into the implemental funda. Okay, so I'll be using the GPT-4 and Claude 3 and Gemini right now, and then the GenAI platforms are Microsoft Cloud, and there are a lot of GenAI platforms. So I'll take the Microsoft Pilot, and then the Google Duet AI and enterprise integration into the Adobe Gen Studio. And then so in my experience, so I have used all these tools, okay, in order to do all this foundational modeling. So right now, so I'll be showing you one or two LLMs, okay, which you can able to utilize in your industry. Yeah, see. See, as I mentioned, as my promise, okay, I'll be creating the workflow. Okay, here every organization is using the prompt mode. Okay, that is the traditional way. Okay, now what I am going to do is, in an focused attribution model, or else the focused way I will be implementing that. This is the strategical inflow. Like I'll be taking a CDP solution and then take the data from it, and then I will be gesturing so why I have selected that tool, and then what is the API integration, and then how to design that. So this is the takeaway that you can able to expect. So the use cases, some organization has a CDP in place, and then so from that organization I will be taking some kind of a data, and then this will be integrated into that environment, and then I will be selecting the right AI tool in order to do that. Either it may be cloud or something. Likewise, I will be telling you how, what made me to select that tool, and then what is the kind of an integration that we will be doing that. And a lot of organizations will be doing in the prompt mode, just going into the chat gpt, type this, type that, right? So I will not be doing that. I will be showing you the traditional way, and what makes me to the adapt to that model, and then how you can able to implement that in your enterprise edition. So this is my way of dealing with the solution. So I'll be giving you a takeaway, and then I'll keep it very simple, and I will be implementing that within the existing workflow. I'll just give you one workflow how I have used that in my daily ways, right? Okay. Last but not the least, okay. So this one, so this is the case study that I have dwelt with, like when I have implemented a lot of use cases. So this is what you are seeing on that. So global GPC plan customer support level overall, and then the implementation approach is like I will be like what we call. So this has led to 87% of the contact resolution, and 43% of the cost reduction is seen from the customer side, and 3.2 minutes is the average handling time. So previously it was 8.7 minutes. Previously it has been reduced to 3.2 minutes. Mainly what it has done is that, so we have implemented the workflow, okay, and then I am also part of it, and then I being the data architecture, and then I have provided the transformation architecture, how we will be dealing with that. And then I will not be showing you that architecture, but I will be showing you practical right now. So by utilizing the free data sets, right? So this is what I will be doing that. Yes. Okay. One last thing. So when you are dealing with this prompt engineering aspects, okay, prompt to production, this is the last takeaway. You should be well specific and contextual, and you should provide the examples, whatever the examples are, and then you need to do the iterative refinement on the examples or solutions, okay. And I will end this presentation and then move to the practical session. So by taking the next notes, right? Yeah, this is the use case that I will be solving you. Okay. So from prompt to production. So the people will be prompting like a generic prompt, okay. And right now, so what I will be showing you a structured prompt, and then by utilizing this prompt, how I have redefined the GenAI algorithms into that by using the mechanism. So with a traditional, so I have promised you, okay, this is the traditional way, or else the structured way that you can able to use, okay, by means of the prompt, okay. I will be showing you another way, okay, how I will be using instead of prompt, how I will be delivering that to my clients. Okay, these are the two key takeaways that I can able to explain you. And so this is the implementation of framework, right? So first, you need to assess what are the predefined elements are there, and then so you need to have a pilot projects, and then you need to have an infrastructure. These are the things that you will be doing that. And so you have to do the scale deployment when you are following the enterprise architecture, right? So now coming into the system, right? Okay, so let me open my system. So this is the thing. So after logging into any of the your tools, so either it may be GenAI or Cloud or whichever it is, right? So you can able to go into that. Okay, logging into the tool or something likewise. Can you able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
Pawan, I request to make it full screen. Right now, it's taken the half screen.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
If you see here, okay. So will- can you give me 1 minute? I'll take my mouse and come. So it is very hard here. Can you give me 1 minute, please? Yeah, just 1 minute. Yes. अच्छा माउस लेके आना. Thank you. So generally the organizations will be utilizing like this, right? Okay. So whenever you are doing any kind of a prompt, okay, I have a CDP. Okay. So now I want to utilize the data and give some insights. Okay. This is the general approach. Okay. Insights the towards the efficient algorithm pattern. Okay. So just I am giving you an example. So generally all the organizations, okay, whichever you are utilizing, so whichever you want to utilize, so you will be doing that. Okay. So if you have a data, right? So if you have a data or something like this, you will be utilizing this kind of a structure. Just you will be typing it and then selecting the model, whichever the model that you are. So you can able to select the model and then you can use it. As I promised, okay, as I promised, today I will be telling you how to dig more in deeper context and then so how the enterprise automation and then this GenAI workflows will be doing that, right? So this is the traditional way, okay, which all the organizations will be using from prompt to production, right? So in the same way, so when we are utilizing, so this is the kind of a synergy or something likewise, so which all the organizations are mandated to do it, right? So for me, so what is the difference in this webinar that you will be getting the takeaway? So I'll be including the models and then I will be also including the device and then I will be also including the workflow. Okay, how we can able to utilize and then so how we can able to utilize that. So this is a generic prompt. Okay, whatever you are seeing is the generic prompt. As I mentioned, so I will be modeling the prompt and then so bring it as a transformative layer and I will be utilizing that. So how to do it? Okay, so just go into the sorry art just sorry. Okay, so just go into the artifacts. Okay, if you go into that, okay, so you have to create your own artifact. Okay, so for this, so you will be creating the Cloud API. So how to create that Cloud API? So you will be creating the new artifacts and then within your architecture. So whatever the architecture that you want to create, so you need to have a specificity in your mind. Okay, for example, say so I want to create an transformative layer on the content creation. So I want to automate the content creation on the website. Okay. So whatever the website is, okay, I want to have a dedicated approach or AI agent to work on my content and then it has to deliver as a feed in the content. Okay. Without my content writer writing some content and then it has to be posted. So right now I will be doing it from the scratch. Okay, generally, yeah, so I will be doing it from the scratch. Okay, click on this start from the scratch. What I want, Okay, so you will be replying. So what I want to prepare a content, okay, on my website. Okay, so www.sayaroney.com. Okay, with content production, sorry, with the content focused on taxonomy, on the author relationship. Okay, author relationship relating to Indian National Congress. Okay, Indian National Congress. So Indian National Congress is a major stakeholder for ENY. Okay, so which take care of all the financial. Okay, sorry, financial. I am doing it live, so there is no workflow, nothing is that. So I am doing it practically, whatever it might be. So it might be the tax industry on content. Okay, tax industry. Recent update. Okay, or tax imposed on current market tendency. Okay, so just what I will be utilizing is that I will be writing a prompt with specific to my attribution, and then so I will be devising the prompt, okay, with respect to the relevance, as well as I will be also providing the helpful context. So this is called the helpful context. Okay, so what I want, okay, current market tendency, I want this authoring. Okay, so and then what is the use case that I want to solve? So on my website, okay, focused on the taxonomy, which I need to have a focused attributes. So that's what, when you got a use case what you want to solve, so dig down into the deeper and then so solve it by means of the predefined test, or else you can able to utilize the existing chart and then add an relevance and then the specificity of that what you want to try, what you want to solve. Okay, and now see here. Okay, here you need to see. Okay, so if you have your previous repository, you can add from the GitHub. Okay, as I will be restricted in adding my content, my client data to this. So what I will be doing is that, so I will be using the general context, or else I will be using the connectors. Okay, in which we can able to use it. Okay, what are connectors? These connectors are something which is relating to the feed aspects in which what you want to serve. All right, so for example, say for ENY, so the main content will be on the current news trends or the current news market, so we will be using the connectors. Okay, so in the connectors, okay, you will be selecting the lot of connectors. Okay, so there are lot of connectors in this. Okay, so if you go into that, so you will be finding lot of connectors. Okay, so you will be utilizing the connectors, whichever the connectors that you want. Okay, so we will be using generally we will be using lot of content. So if it is content related, so we will be using the content related. So if it is specifically with relating to the work and production, we will be using the Workato. Okay, so here we will be using the Zapier as an integration. Okay, sorry, it is upgraded to connect. Okay, okay, so generally you will be utilizing that the connectors, whichever the connectors is. So as it is somewhat costlier, so let me use with what I have. Let me attach. I'm sorry. 1 second. So generally we will be using in our client system. So we will be connecting to uh, Google Drive, or we will be connecting to the JPR in order to do it one. So as of now, if not, let me use the GitHub. So what it happens is that, so when you are using the connector, it will add the specificity of your application. Okay, whatever the application that you have. So it will be adding a specificity of your application, and you will be utilizing that. So with your enterprise. So generally, any questions so far? Let me get the OTP. Four nine one six nine. So basically in GitHub, so I'll be adding the.
Pawan, meanwhile, there was one question from Jenny.
Yes.
So she had mentioned that they are not allowed to use Claude
Okay.
in their firm.
So yeah, so there are two ways in order to do that, right? So if you doesn't want the cloud, so whatever the cloud has the response mechanism, so they can able to utilize in Microsoft Copilot also, and Google Gemini has the same architecture. It is that the way of the integration is different. So I will be also showing you that. So once after this is completed, right? Yeah, just give me 1 minute. Once after this is done, so I'll be showing you in Google Gemini. Yeah. Yes. Will that will be addressing your question? Yes. So every organization has its own kind of an transformation layer. Okay, so here we will be utilizing lot of tools. Okay, so if your organization is restricting for one of the tool, okay, so we have to utilize whatever the organization says. Okay, so in this workflow, what I am going to do is, so we will be utilizing the Claude as well as the Gemini, so in order to do this task. So will the resolve this your question? Yes.
So there's one question, Pawan.
Yeah.
Do all different GenAI models follow same framework or workflow?
No, not exactly. So every GenAI will have the different workflow. Okay, so here it is a focused on the content. Okay, so I am only focusing on the content right now. So content will have the same focused workflow. Okay, so if you want to do the code repository, so it will have some minor tweaks in the kind of a developmental criteria. So what you want to specify. Okay, it's all devised on the relevance of the prompt, and it all defines okay the way the workflow that you want to define. Yeah, it's all depends upon your outcome, so what you want to achieve. So here it is focusing on the content, so that's why based on the content workflow, so I am giving you the specific how the workflow will be. Have I addressed your question?
Yeah. Yes, is the response.
Yes.
Yes, thank
So this is the focus, as it is only the webinar. Okay, and so it is only focusing on the content. There might be lot of use cases that you have to draw. So as I mentioned in the slide number 3, okay, in the slide number 3, so what you want to solve, divide and conquer. So what you want to achieve. Okay, so if you want to achieve the code base, or else you want to achieve the what you call, you want to devise an mobile app. Okay, according to the mobile app, so divide it into small pieces and then integrate it together in order to get the outcome. Okay, it depends upon the kind of a use case that you want to solve and what is the outcome, right? So there are lot many methods that you can able to do, and this is the method that I have followed, and then I am been in successful way. Okay, there might be like so you can utilize the ML, or you can use the N8. Okay, GenAI transformation layer, and then you can able to utilize it. Okay, this webinar is only focusing on the how to deploy an enterprise application into that from prompt to production. So that's what I am been showing, so within the shorter duration of the time. Yeah. Yes. So this is the training data set that I will be utilizing. This is the open GitHub repository which contain the training materials. Okay, so basically what I will be using is, so I will be using this GitHub. So whatever the GitHub is, so I'll be cloning that. Okay, there might be a lot of things. Okay, I don't have the training data that is readily available. I'm using the public and open source. Okay, I'm using the public and open source with MIT license. Okay, so with MIT license, so I'm using the public and uh, public sorry, public repository. I am utilizing that, so and then I will be utilizing that in my workspace, right? So this is the code, and then I will be forking it. Create a fork. Okay, so this is only the training data set, so I am utilizing the training data set. Okay, in order to show you the outcome. Yeah, so I'll just go to the connector, and then I have connected it. Okay, I'll go back. Okay, as I mentioned, so I want a specific with respect to my organization, what I am following. So I'll be utilizing that. So here is the cloud, and then so I'll be utilizing add from GitHub, and I will be selecting the repository. Okay, so this is the repository that I will be selecting. And as I mentioned, so my way of understanding is, So either it may be the tax or something likewise. So I will be utilizing the algorithm with respect to my domain. Okay, I'll be searching for the NLP. Sorry. How to go back? Sorry, I have to go back. So here, if you see here, okay, so we have worked on this. Okay, this is the training data set, and then so we have worked on this EDA algorithm. So let me take this. Okay, so what are the EDA algorithm that we are using? So and then so we have utilized the EDM. Okay, so and so we have some kind of a claims. Okay, insurance claims or something. So here is the use case. Okay, that we will be following. Okay, so what are the taxonomy or claims that are sorry, whatever the government that is following on that, so how it impacts the content will be produced on that, the outcome will be like this. Okay, so whatever the insurance claims that we have. Okay, okay, I have this file size limit. These are so we will be feeding the data. Okay, I think there is a lot of data. Let me reduce the data, right? Don't worry about the formatting, because so we are just utilizing that for the sake of the this thing. So because it will be well formatted, and this is the training data set. So don't worry about the formatting. I'll be adding a file. Add a file. Any doubts before this file upload will happen? So generally you can able to apply it to the patch request. Just install. What happening? So it has been uploaded and all the training data set is there. So I will go into the cloud. Yeah. One second, yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, any questions, please use the chat so we can take some of the questions. Any doubts, questions. So please use the chat.
Can you please help me to remove this like upside is not going off and then it is uh, this zoom.
Okay. One moment. One second. Maybe you can stop sharing and then you can select Pawan once.
Yeah. Okay, let me share my screen again. Enable to see my screen.
Yes.
So as I mentioned, so you can able to select the right one. So let me close it and I will be selecting the right file. Okay, it is connected. Okay. And once after the connection is established, I'll go into the prompt. Kick it down. I'll kick it down. I'll go back. Okay. And so I will be adding from GitHub. So what are the file is? So I'll be adding from GitHub. Okay, right now. So I have one file that I have uploaded is untitled spreadsheet. Okay, so I'll be adding this file. So what it does, okay, so what I am doing is, so I am doing the API controlling on that, and then so I will be utilizing, so what are the specific relating to my content, so I will be writing that, or else I will be proposing a data. For example, say, okay, if the use case is likewise, okay, so I have the sales and orders, and then I have the products. Okay, now I have to map it to that, and then whoever is coming into the website or else my store, so what are the high relevance products. Okay, so further, so you will be feeding the data, okay, that comes into the specific of what you want to achieve. Okay, this is the prompt way. Okay, so you will be selecting the models, okay, which are the models that you have. Okay, either you can able to use the opus or else you can use the modules. Okay, what are the cloud opus 3 or something likewise. Okay, so as of now I am utilizing the Claude Sonnet. Okay, so this is the basic. Okay, Claude Sonnet is very basic in terms of the transformation, so I will be utilizing, so it will be giving the boom, okay, on this. Okay, so what I have done is, so I have asked the Claude, okay, to propose, okay, to propose on the Indian National Congress on the Indian tax industry. Okay, how the billing and regulatory changes, and then I have provided them, okay, I have provided him them with the kind of an transformation effect with respect to my data. Okay, boom, it has been providing a kind of a documentation in terms of that what needs to be gone into the website, right, what it has to be gone into the website. Yeah, so what this contains is that, so what I want to achieve is, okay, I have some data. Okay, within that data, the recent current changes on the tax implication. So how we can able to utilize that? Okay, on what are the new income slabs that will be applied on my data, right? So on that day, so I have provided with the industry tax update, and then so you can able to get the content as per the specific is that. All right, and then if you click on publish, okay, so it will be publishing into the cloud, and then so it will be providing a link, okay, through which this link can be provided it to the content developer or content website creator. So he will be just adding that as a feed, such that your content will be automatically generated whatever you are providing here in the cloud. Okay, so it will be utilizing that, and then so you can able to utilize that, so within that, so what kind of an implications are there. So now I'll be utilizing from the prompt. Okay, so this is the prompt way. Okay, Pawan, I don't have the prompt or something likewise, so which I can able to utilize. No problem. Okay, so we can utilize this on which are the model that we can able to utilize. So we can able to utilize the models that are readily available here. Okay, so for example, say Claude Opus 3, right? So it is more advanced model, and then you can able to use it. Okay, Pawan, I don't have this whatever the things that you are telling, and then so I have some kind of an modeling framework or something, so which needs some kind of an simulated environment, means like I want to do some kind of an play around, or I want to do some stuff, okay, instead of this boring. Okay, no problem, you can use the artifacts that are being available here, and then so you can able to do a one step forward, okay, with the predefined templates that are being available in the market, okay, from the market space. Okay, and you can able to utilize that. Okay, yeah, so now I will be telling you another thing, right? So for example, say, okay, this Claude or LLM. So what are these LLMs? Okay, these are kind of an artifacts in Claude, it is artifacts, and then in real world, so it is called the LLMs, right? So this will help you to structure the prompt, and then so you can able to utilize that. So in way of how you can able to utilize, for example, say, Pawan, I am being newly recruited into the job. I don't know anything about the code. Okay, no problem. You can go to the coding coach or something likewise, and then so you can able to select the code, which are the code that you want. Okay, you can select the code, and then you can able to hit on the analyze. Okay, let me give a small code. 1 second, sorry. All right. So I have something called, okay, so I don't know anything about that. So you can able to analyze your code, and then so by using the Anthropic or any kind of a coach that you can able to analyze, and then so you have the predefined structure in that, right? So as I mentioned, okay, this is the this is the organizational way of implementing from pro code to production. So what you will be doing is that so you will be utilizing the code, and then it is not a rocket science in order to implement it, just that so you need to know the right outcome what you want to achieve, and then so you can able to utilize that so within the prompt, and then so you can able to use it. Okay, so if you want to create lot of things, you can able to use like what we call, so if you want to create a apps or websites as somebody mentioned, so I want to create an app or else something likewise, or all the workforce same. No, all the workflows are not same. So it is that so what you want to achieve. So you will have a right prompt, and then what is the outcome that you want to achieve. I want to build a CDP or customer data platform, okay, for online makeup store, okay, that contains the products like lipstick or plug. I don't know a lot of products. Okay, so let's have t-shirts. Okay, likewise. Okay, or cosmetics. Okay, so I'll be utilizing so whatever the file that I want to take, right? So I'll be utilizing the data that is readily available, right? So here, are you getting my point? So what I want to achieve? So not every prompt will have the same specificity. So that's why so organizations want your help in order to use your enterprise architecture knowledge, and utilize a kind of implementation in terms of that. So if they can able to do it, if every business can able to do it, so you can also do it, right? So let me use this file, right? So there are a lot of products. Okay, so in that product, so I want to use, okay, so I want to build a CDP. So that is a customer data platform. Okay. For my makeup store. What I have given is that, so I have provided lot of customer insights, means like, so there are data with respect to the lipstick, t-shirts, how many products are there, and then so I will be using. So it has asked you a lot of questions of what specific customer insights are important to you, or like purchase history or something. And then, so what is that so that you want to achieve? Okay, you need to have a specific is that. So I want, yeah, only one thing. So I want the personalized recommendation by using this data, right? So I will be utilizing that. Okay, personalized recommendations, as well as I need customer LTV. Okay, customer LTV. So I will be selecting that file. So whichever the file that has the customer data, right? So this is the way that we will be following. Okay. When it comes to the flat data. Okay. Generally, so uh, we don't do this kind of a flat data like structure. Okay. Generally, we will be using the integrators and then add that integrators to that, and we will be utilizing that. Yeah, 1 minute. Let me. Yeah. It should be products, user. 1 second. Customer profile. Okay. So customer profile. So I want to have the LTV of the products, and then so I can able to use it. So whichever it is. So I'll be providing is that. So generally, so you can able to select your right model. So whichever the model that you want to do it. Okay. So within that, so you will be having a kind of an prompt to action. So how you can able to do it, like one is the customer profile dashboard. Okay. So if I want to build a customer profile dashboard, so how I can able to do it? I'll be selecting that, and then I will be utilizing the connected in the desktop connection. So I will be utilizing um, either by means of MCP. Where is MCP? Something MCP must be there. In free version, so it is not there. Huh? Okay. Uh, So you can able to utilize that. So I am sorry, in free version, so it is not there for me. Okay, yeah. Until it downloads. As I mentioned, the same will be utilizing Google Gemini. Here are the best practices. Add the relevance. Okay, so whatever you want to have a connection, okay, you should have that specific of the file draft. Means like whatever the data that you have, either it is in the flat files or the recommended dashboards or recommendation, what you want to achieve. So that should be easily fit into your environment, or else it should have the relevance to what you want to add the data value. So until it downloads, yeah. Now any questions or anything that is bugging you? Okay. in order to do that. So any questions here? Anyone? Any questions? I'll read any questions here.
Well, no
Okay, we
questions.
have Copilot integrated. Yeah, there are lot many tools that are being available. Do all these Generative follow the same framework or workflow? Yeah, I have addressed this option so that okay, every workflow will have the different kind of a workflow, and so it seems to be Mac. Please, Mac. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is.
Pawan, those questions are covered
Yeah.
in. I checked
Okay,
it.
okay, fine,
Yeah.
no problem. Okay, so let me open up the Claude. I'm not sure why it is not opening. So in the same way, if your organization is using Google, okay, Google Gemini, okay, so Google Gemini is very easy, okay, than Claude. So Google Gemini is very easy. Okay, so see here, when you are utilizing any kind of a Gemini algorithm or something likewise, so I suggest you to utilize for okay within your environment premises, right? So go to Google Gemini, Google Gemini. Okay, so from prompt to production, right? So when you are utilizing Google Gemini, okay, always make sure that so whatever the organization that you are connected is, that login should be there. So that is number one. That is number one refresh or recommendation from my side because like Google is vast. Okay, if you are opening with your account or something, so the Google will plagiarize yours, and then so it will send an organization. So whatever the organization that you had, the network team will get an security recommendation letter. Okay, so if you are uploading into the public data sets, so um, that's why so utilize it very effectively and then utilize it as it is your end responsibility because for me so whatever the organization data should not go out, right? So that's why, yeah. Okay, so so this one, so whatever the prompts that you are entering, okay, it all depends upon which kind of a outcome that you want to do it. Okay, either it is guidelines or else either it is the deep research or something. So for example, say if you want to do all this deep research, so right now, so I don't want that deep research. I want okay to automate the workflow. Okay, I want to automate the workflow by means of the gems. Okay, by means of the gems, I want to automate the workflow and implement a kind of a change, right? So this is the general way. So you go to the chart, type in the prompt, and then so that is the traditional approach. Okay, so you will be utilizing the gem. Okay, whatever the gem that you are utilizing, so you will be utilizing the gem, and then so you will be training that gem. Okay, you will be providing that gem with a kind of a testing and then the certifying knowledge. Okay, and then so you will be so whatever you are utilizing, right? So in Google Gemini, so you will be utilizing with respect to the gems that are there, and then so the good way is so you have to train the data. Okay, so you have to provide the training data for this specific in order to achieve that. So the same I will be providing. So I'll be creating a gem client connect. Okay, and I will be giving an example. Okay, the this gem can be utilized for effective use of Gen AI for transforming content, okay, to deliver the customer LTV. Okay. So for this, so I have given the description, and then so I want to provide the knowledge for this. Okay. So basically, so what I will be doing is that, so I will be giving the knowledge to this, that so whatever that I am running, okay, whatever that I am running, so I will be providing the knowledge to that. That means a training data set that will be provided. Okay, when you are utilizing the gem. Okay, generally all the organization will be mandated to do that the production. Okay, with respect to the traditional approach, you type in the prompt, copy and paste, and then you can do that. But what here is, so you have to add the specificity, like a specific attribute, and then so with the specific recommendation. So I'll be utilizing the Adobe training modules. Yeah, there should be some training modules. Oh, where is that file? Uh, Yeah. Okay. Customer profile. Okay. So I'll be training that data. Okay. With respect to this data. So what my customers are there. So don't worry. This customer modules profiles that have the dummy data. Okay. Don't worry about that. Okay. It contains all the products, and then so you can able to utilize that. So, and then so you can save this. Right. So whatever you are doing. Okay. So it should have it should have a specific type of a use case. So for every use case, so you can able to select one gem. Okay. So the architectural pattern says, okay, so whatever you are using that, so we will be utilizing one use case for one gem. Means that, so what we want to achieve, if it is a customer object or if it is a product object, so for product object I will have one gem. So mainly I will be doing the test and integrate, so by means of the Gemini Pro account, and then so we will be utilizing an another agent, okay, called N8, okay, in order to do the workflow automation that I will be showing you, right? So here I will be doing the prompt. Okay. So of my data customer profile, provide LTV, LTV and run rate with respect to top customers that top customers that bought the product before 10 days. Okay. So generally it will have the prompt, okay, like twice. So what are the relevance that I have? So in this CSV file, I have the customer and what are the products that are profiled. And then so what is the count of that? So how many times he has visited? So that kind of a relevance data that you should feed in. So I'm sorry for the spelling mistake. Yeah. So now once I hit on this, okay, what will happen? So it will all the research and then take the knowledge graph, and then so it will show the thinking type, and then so it will provide you an object reference, and then so why it has been came to that. Yeah, it takes 1 minute. Okay. So if you see the code or something, so how it is getting executed, so this is the code output. Okay, so what are the data columns that we have? So here is the code output that you can able to see. These are the columns that I have: person, email ID, and then the last name, birth date, and then the mobile number. and last updated, and then there are a lot of rows, okay, that you can able to see. Okay, so and then it is saying that the customer ID. Okay, so let's take the customer ID. There is no customer ID. I want only the email ID with respect to email ID, right? So I will be rewriting this code. Provide the reference to the email ID, okay, instead of customer ID, because we will be using only the email ID as a primary identifier, not the customer ID. Okay, and number of products purchased. I'm sorry for the spelling mistake. Okay, and so you can mention lot of things. Okay, right now, so the time is limited. So boom, so it will be providing you that, so whatever the outcome is, so it will be providing with respect to our data and then the system that is available. I don't have the email ID. Let me take one email ID. Let me take user2 at gmail.com, right? uh, give the data with respect to profile with email user2 at gmail.com. So it will be providing you with respect to the relevant, and so it will be also providing you how that custom gem can able to generate. Yeah. So here you can see, right, the person ID is this, email ID is this, and then so it will have executed the birth date and then the home date. Okay. So I think this is the profile details of this. And then so right now, so with the available data, right, so what can be achieved? Right, you can change the model, whichever the model that you want to change. Okay, so you can able to change the model and then provide a specific attribute so that you want to create, okay, with respect to that. So like, so you can able to utilize these gems in order to transform, or else you can able to utilize this kind of an approach, okay, where you can able to utilize, right? So I'll be using the reasoning right now. Okay. So with the available data for this user to at the rate of testmail.com. So what I want the customer to create, sorry, I want the birth date compared against the rest of the customers with emails user1@testmail.com. Okay. So what I am giving is the specific. So I want to analyze with the reasoning. So with respect to that and how that is compared against the date of birth. Okay, boom. So it will be providing you that. So in this way, you can able to utilize your Gen AI or the model transformation in order to the, as it is a basic, and then this prompt to production, how you can able to do it. There are lot many ways to do it. Okay, there are basically we follow four-way approach method. So once we have analyzed that, so that the right outcome is getting it, so and then so we will be deploying it by means of the REST API. Okay, so we will be using the Postman. Okay, and then we will be creating the configuration and then sending it to the deployment in order to do that. For example, say, okay, whatever the user searches on the search button or something, so we will be adding the relevance to that, and then so we will be providing this kind of an algorithm in which we can able to do it. So basically we will be creating one jump for one use case. Okay, and then so we will be providing the user with the specific. Okay, and then this will be integrated across to the website. Okay, by means of a link that will be generated here. Right, so you will be doing here. Here it is not there, but in our production mechanism, so there will be like send to production. Okay, so if you hit on that send to production, so it will be sent into our code repository. Okay, and then so from the Postman API, so we will be deploying into the code. So how to do that? So I will be showing you. So we will be creating a workspace for this account. And so generally all the organization will be using different kinds of tools, and then so we are using the API to push our test repositories into the production environment, right? So I will be utilizing the workflow. Okay, so here all the workspaces will be there. Okay, so I will be utilizing the workflows and create a connection like API network. So every organization has a different mechanism. So this we have followed because like so we will be doing lot of content and then the websites push. Okay, by means of the API it is very easy and then it is faster deployment. In order to do that, so I will be utilizing the uh, what we call the environment, and then so we will be using some kind of an bearer key and then the bearer token. So in order to send to that uh, application. So basically this is the configuration that we will be setting it. Okay, all the KAs, and then so if once we hit on to the production, right? So we will be sending all this and then execute it. So whatever the filtration is there. So if I want to add another variable over here, like the content or the header function, so I will be adding it and then I will be adding the value and then click on that and then so send that value to the production by means of the fork, right? So and then so I'll be selecting the environment. Okay, and once the environment is set up, so I'll be sending this data, whatever the data that you are seeing down, right? So I'll be sending all this to the environment directly into the prod. So I'm not I'm not doing that right now because well, if I hit on fork, so it will be creating a fork and then it will send to my prod system, so which I don't want again. Yeah. So this is the easiest way in order to do that. Okay, some organizations might be utilizing the chat GPT-4 or any kind of a transformation method to the production. So we are an open source. Okay, so that's why we will be using lot of open sources in order to get the work things done, right? So that's why, yeah, these are the things that you can able to do it. So either you can create the MCP servers, or either you can able to use the whichever the MCP server is. Like, so you can send this with the Firebase. Okay, if you are using the mobile app, so you can able to configure the Firebase mobile, or if you are sending it to the Cloudflare system, so you can use the Cloudflare or AWS, right? So I'll be using the sorry. So I'll be using the whichever the workspaces. So I'll be selecting the AWS, configure that, and then send it to the production. Okay. So here I have already configured that. Okay, with our trusted MCP, right? So you can go to that, and then so you can go to the AWS documentation server, right? So and then so here are the variables that you will be configuring. So you can create your own AWS account. That is no problem. Okay. So and then so you will be doing that. So whatever the MCP that you are doing, so you can able to do it. So and then create an environment. Okay. So I have already we are using this environment. Okay. So I don't want to send it. If I hit on connect, so it will establish a connection to my broad mechanism, so which I don't want. Okay. So likewise you can able to do it, right? So this is the easiest way that you can able to deploy, and then the various aspects so that you can able to use. So for every company, if you are using the Microsoft Copilot, so that is also the same. Okay, but some tweaks will be there. Okay, some tweaks will be there that differs according to the use case by use case. Okay, so, and then what are the funda that I told? Divide and conquer, and then implement a kind of a strategical, and then so also see how you can able to use that as a transformation effort, and then so you can able to utilize that so within your organization. And that comes into the end of our session. So which I can able to tell you with this as an outcome. Okay, so so last last thing is that so when you are doing that, so you have to accelerate your innovation. So how it will be done in the sense like you will be utilizing the training data sets, and then you will be providing the kind of a this thing. So for every training data set, add a set of the values that can able to add the relevance as well as the productivity. So how you can able to automate that? So you have to invent your own methodology for that. Okay, and then so be a competitive edge in between the training data set and training data set too. So whatever the data set that you are giving, or else it should match with the this thing. So right now, so I have utilized in Gemini, right? So I have given the email ID as wrong. Okay, so and again it has tested and reevaluated and then provide me a right context. Okay, always make sure that your data should be pixel perfect in order to do that. So whatever the things are, and then completely when deploying into the production, always make sure that so you will be giving a hands-on uh, test before the deployment. So that is the end recommendation that I can give, and it's time to move beyond right now. So yeah, that comes into the end of the session. I hope this session is productive, and yeah, any doubts or queries before we move out?
Yeah. Any questions for Pawan? Okay. I think we had an extended session, so thank you, Pawan. Thank you for taking your time out and doing the session for us. And I hope all the participants gain knowledge from this, and they have some takeaways from this particular session. So I request everybody, I've given a link in the chat So you can share a valuable feedback. So that would be a nice thing for us to have a look at after the session. So thank you everybody. Thank you, Pawan, once again, and hope looking forward to more sessions in the coming weeks. Good day, everyone.